Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah.
A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Honest J. Nowak. So today, on Honest J. Nowak, allow me to present to you magnets. One of the biggest questions out there that ever goes on in scientific history is this: magnets. How do they work? Well, just allow me to explain how they actually work. Magnetism is based on the magnetational field that happens to surround the planet Earth itself, along with the difference in variation based on the polar opposites between the North and South Pole, which happens to coordinate different magnetic forces of energy. The type of magnet that you use, depending on how its rarity is and how its alkaline earth metal base happens to be situated with the particular type of magnetic energy you happen to be dealing with. And different types of the planet happen to coordinate different levels of magnetic energy. Now, compasses, if you're not familiar with my episode in which I talked about those, they also happen to feed off of certain magnetic energy just so they can work properly. Now, if magnetic energy becomes too great, compasses, of course, can start to act like they're malfunctioning, in the same way that an EMP can very much destroy the electronic based components in some devices that we use today, including electric cars, laptops, smartphones, etc. But as for magnetic energy, if the power level of it, depending on which part of the planet you're in, becomes too great, it's instant trouble for anyone. But that right there is just a small little summarization of how magnets themselves work. Of course, magnetic energy can be all over the world. In that way, you may have yourself a good advantage to try and get yourself a good way of having some magnetism put together. But, of course, it's more than just knowing that the different levels of magnetic energy and magnetic forces, depending on which part of the polar opposite that you're at, or if you're living near the equator, of course you're going to be facing different types of energy that happens to be composed. But of course, magnets themselves, the devices that we've used for a long time now, and we've had so many different questions based on how they work, on how their levels of magnetic energy happen to become stronger depending on how much magnetism you happen to put on it. Now, of course, to magnetize any form of metal, well, it can be a kind of a difficult way to put it together, but of course, when you do have yourself a good way of magnetizing certain parts, such as screwdriver bits or drill bits or other types of metal surfaces, then it can be kind of an advantage for you. Especially if you're a carpenter or a handy person out there who just likes to keep things organized. There are some tools out there that happen to have magnetic shafts on them, just so you can keep certain bits or pieces with you at all times. But magnets themselves, they're once again a lot more to be expected. Because magnets themselves, depending on their rarity based on earth or alkaline levels, it can be kind of a big ordeal here because, after all, the type of magnet that you happen to utilize, it's pretty self-explanatory, but let's not forget about the anomaly that's present where magnetism can apparently act much like an EMP and wreck your devices. But in today's time, we do happen to have a lot of magnets that happen to not procure these type of effects to where they can damage electronics if they're placed close onto them, which is actually a very good thing because innovation has allowed us to control different levels of magnetic energy. So this way, anyone out there who uses magnets on their daily lifestyle wouldn't have to worry about their smartphone or laptop or other electronic devices getting ruined because of magnetic energy completely ruining the ECU systems or the battery. And now, well, this was kind of a long run here that I've been talking about magnets, that I've been dragging it on for minutes now. So, that's just my little quick explanation of how magnets would work and what magnets can do. in our everyday lives. So I'm just going to leave you with all that here. Expect more of this stuff to come along, but if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.